Good afternoon. In this class on Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's Rajmohan's wife, which we are analyzing. In the last class with you, I gave you a short summary of each chapter. Now, today, I'll be doing short analysis of these chapters. So we'll be starting with the first chapter, which is titled The Dryads of Water, where at first we get the picture of the village of Madhumati, which is now in Bangladesh. It is inhabited by rich landlords, as we see, and then we are introduced to Konok and later to Rajmohan's wife Matangini. Now, as we see, Matangini is the central protagonist of this novel. She is a young woman of 18, but when we get her description, that is her physical description, we are told that her visage is clouded with anxiety. It seems that she is nursing some kind of sorrow in her heart, and the beauty of her appearance has been greatly spoilt by her physical or mental suffering. And later on, of course, though at the present moment we cannot understand why she looks like that, why is she so much anxious, but later we learn that it is because of her dominating and brutish husband Rajmohan, who has forbidden her even to accompany other women to go and fetch water from the river. So when Konokmoi invites her to go to the river to fetch water, she at first is very much afraid. So she is scared and apprehensive, meaning she doesn't know what would happen. So if her husband hears that she had gone out, yet finally she makes up her mind and she dares to defy him as she accompanies the carefree older Konokmoi to the river. So it is clear that Matangini is under the shadow of her cruel husband, and she seems to have lost her own identity in this novel. Though she is the central character, but she has got no freedom here. And in fact, Bankim Chandra does not give her name. In the title of this novel, we find that it is designated as Rajmohan's wife, not as Matangini. So her individual identity is jeopardized, and the descriptions that we get fully point to this fact. So apart from introducing us to the main character Matangini in the first chapter, we are made curious, the readers are made curious as to what is ailing or what is troubling Matangini, as she is so fearful of going out even to fetch a simple job, a simple task like fetching water from the river. So that is also something that she does not wish to do. So here, of course, that question arises in our minds. Now, in the second chapter, we see that the two cousins, Mathur Ghosh and Madhav Ghosh, they are introduced. And it is late in the evening, and when Matangini and Konokmoi are returning home, the two cousins, they are sitting and talking to each other, and they notice these two women, and we get a physical description of Mathur Ghosh, who is a kind of a man who is ugly and wears rich clothes. Mathur is also thought to be a dissolute kind of a person, while Madhav Ghosh is simple. He's a much more sophisticated person, and we get a peep into their characters, and they of course would be more clearly delineated, their characters, as the story would proceed. But for this chapter 2, which is titled The Two Cousins, we get introduced to these two men who are opposites, and their clothes are also described, and Bankim sort of gives us the description and the first impression that we have of these two men are exactly opposite, since we do not approve of Madhav Ghosh at all, Mathur Ghosh, not only because of his corpulent and ugly kind of mind which is revealed, but also the fact that there is a hint of kind of cunning in his character. And Madhav Ghosh is, of course, we approve of his character because he is not only a good looking and good person at heart, as we understand, but he seems to kind of also exert a good influence on everyone.